Welcome to the first in a series from wetwebmedia.com. With such a wide array of information available, we'd like to offer you some aquarium basics and to have some fun doing so.
Correct.
A little red light. So get yourself in the shot.
I'm in there. Don't knock things over. Ready?
I got a big blue spot in that face. Hi, I'm Jim Stime.
And I'm Bob Fenner. We're here to talk about how to go about setting up a successful freshwater aquarium.
Okay, so that was the practice round. And what is it you're going to say?
This is our presentation on setting up a successful freshwater aquarium. Or I'll just say, and this is setting up a successful.
And that'll be the end of that scene.
That's
okay.
it.
So I'm just going to follow you.
I am ready.
And you speak loudly, get the going.
I'm ready. Hi, I'm Bob Fenner.
And I'm Jim Stime.
And this is how to set up a successful freshwater aquarium.
And I'd like to try the second time, only I need you to kind of amp up your voice a bit.
Okay.
Because it'll pick up all this other noise in here. Are we doing just freshwater, or are we doing
one at a time?
Okay, one at a time.
Yeah, you want to do the saltwater with the freshwater tank in the background?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Bob Fenner.
Okay, start over again, but
Hi, I'm still Bob Fenner. Hi, I'm Bob Fenner.
And I'm Jim Stime.
And this is setting up successful aquariums.
And we're going to do it. Oh, the light went out. Something went out back there. Did you notice that?
Yep.
So we better hurry up before the other timer goes.
That's it.
Again, bring the voice up a little bit.
Oh. I don't know if I can speak any more louder. But we're going to do this again?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Bob Fenner.
And I'm Jim Stime.
And this is setting up successful aquariums.
Yeah!
What does it actually take to have a successful aquarium? Really only two things. A chemically inert container
and water.
And what type of aquarium should you keep that water in?
Aquariums in actual practice come in two basic formats. Either acrylic.
Alternatively, glass tanks are an option.
Acrylic tanks have several advantages over glass, and glass tanks have some advantages over acrylic. For one, acrylic tanks are not glued together, they're solvented. That is to say, they're one piece.
Glass tanks have this silicone seam along the edge.
Acrylic tanks are easier to scratch, but the scratches in turn are easier to remove.
Glass tanks are harder to scratch.
Acrylic tanks are likewise harder to chip or crack compared to glass.
Glass tanks are easier to chip or crack.
Acrylic tanks are easier to modify. They can be cut with ordinary power tools.
Glass tanks are harder to modify or drill.
Acrylic tanks do cost more than glass tanks per volume, but they also retain their resale value much longer.
Glass tanks are much less expensive and more prevalent in the hobby shops. Hobby shops, where did that come from?
Especially with dealing with large systems, let's say something more than 100 gallons, acrylic tanks are far less heavy and much easier to move around.
Glass tanks are also a whole lot heavier and take more to lift them up.
Acrylic tanks do cost more than glass tanks, but they last longer and keep their value longer. On the issue of tank size, the bigger the better. Just like your bank account, your hard drive, disk space, you want as large a system as you can possibly fit in.
The advantage of large is it's more chemically and physically stable. You've got greater capacity for adding a larger population of fish. You've also got a greater margin for errors to occur in the tank.
Aquariums come in two basic formats. Show tanks, which are tall and narrow, and standard or stock aquariums, which tend to be more short and wide, like me. Tall tanks are nice for looks, but the stock aquariums are actually easier to work on and hold more life.
What should you place your aquarium on?
Your aquarium needs to sit on a solid surface or a stable aquarium stand. There's 3 things involved in a stand: a flat surface, a solid foundation, and I forgot what the third one was. What was the third one?
It has to be level.
Oh, that's right, okay. There's 3 requirements for that stand. It needs to have a flat surface, it needs to sit on a level plane or a bottom. What's the third one again? Strong, flat, and then sit on a level surface. Strong, flat, and level. It needs to have a flat surface on the top of it. It needs to sit on a solid foundation, and it needs to be level.
It's all about location.
Where you place your aquarium is very important. You don't want it to be too close to windows or breezy areas, because it'll change the temperature of the water. But you do want to locate your tank, of course, where you're going to enjoy seeing it, and close to utilities like electricity, water, and a drain.
The location of the tank is important in regards to maintenance as well. You'll want to be able to easily access it from the front side, as well as be able to grab a hold of something on the back side, such as your power filter or the built-in filter, and be able to access those components inside there. Also, at the same time, if you have to stand on a ladder to access the tank, make sure that the foundation that the ladder is sitting on is solid and secure as well.
It's the water and a lot more.
You're going to hold your hands like that?
No.
Okay.
That's it. Next, we'll say the important things about water itself. Water is a lot more than simply H2O. There are gases, solids, and liquids dissolved in it. Sometimes these can be important. If you're very fortunate, your tap water or source water will be perfectly suited to your use. Otherwise, you may have to modify it.
One of the best ways to determine the quality of your water is to look at your water bill and find the telephone number on there and call your local water supplier. As an alternative, you can obtain a variety of test kits and you can test the water yourself.
For freshwater, you may be fortunate that your tap water requires no modification whatsoever. Or alternatively, you can actually pick out livestock that will suit the water conditions where you are. Do note that not all water will suit all types of aquatic life.
So there's 2 different ways of determining what type of livestock you can get. One is to select livestock that meets the water parameters basically out of your faucet or local water quality. The other is to make those adjustments yourself, such as pH or hardness.
And help is available in terms of determining what your livestock will tolerate or actually enjoy. There are all sorts of books and magazines online in your library, and help at your local fish store.
Are you ready for the coolest jellyfish system ever? It's not a bowl, and it's not a box. It's a circulation device, and it allows you to build your own individual, customized jellyfish aquarium system. This new circulation device allows you to convert almost anyone's equally sided tank into a jellyfish system. Introducing a uniquely innovative concept from the originator of the home hobbyist jellyfish system, the Jellyquarium 360. Jim Stime, the pioneer of jellyfish tanks, now offers the Jellyquarium 360. Why 360? Because it's designed for a tank you can walk around or view from all sides. The 360 fits into the top of a hexagon, a cube, or a cylinder tank. It produces a 3-dimensional water flow that gently rotates jellyfish in a geometric 3D circular donut-shaped flow pattern. The new Jellyquarium 360 was designed using 3D software and is state-of-the-art 3D printed. And best of all, it's proudly made in America. 4 sizes are available, plus an entire line of standard acrylic aquariums, stands, and canopies ranging from hexagon to cubes to the awesome-looking cylinders. Welcome to the newest in jellyfish keeping. Meet the next challenge. Visit jellyquarium360.com for more information. Do you have an aquarium question? Are you looking for aquatic answers? Just key in wetwebmedia.com. Wet Web Media has information on freshwater, marine, brackish, and planted aquariums. Wet Web Media is staffed by the capable Wet Web Media crew. Check today's facts, ask questions, or search keywords. That's wetwebmedia.com.
Hi there, my name's Jim Stime and you know me as the LA Fish Guy. Well, I also wear a couple of other hats. One of them is the jellyfish tank called the Jelly Aquarium, and the third is myfishtank.com. I offer an entire line of acrylic aquariums ranging from rectangular to hexagon, flatback hex, as well as the custom curve front aquariums. There's also an entire line of stands and canopies ranging from MDF to pine to oak with a variety of different finishes available. And the website is even smart enough that you can calculate what the freight and crate charges to your location will be. That's myfishtank.com. So if your water quality is questionable, what you may want to do is start with just the water. There's a way of purifying the water, such as reverse osmosis. This is available in a kit that you can set up yourself or visit your local tropical fish store to obtain it.
If your water is questionable and you find yourself using RO exclusively, you may want to look into additives like alkalinity and pH to bring up the water quality for the livestock you intend.
You will need a filter system.
For your aquarium, you're going to need some type of filtration. There's three basic approaches to aquarium filtration. The first is mechanical, the second is chemical, and the third is biological. Mechanical will be something like a pad, a screen, or a grid that as water passes through it, it gets trapped. Chemical filtration typically is the use of activated carbon, which has the ability to absorb organic compounds such as colors and odors. Biological filtration, on the other hand, is the most important filtration in the aquarium, and that can be accomplished through power filters such as the Penguin with BioWheel or canister filters that have biomedia within them.
How should you illuminate your tank?
Next, we'll say a few things about hoods and lighting. You do want to have a cover for your aquarium. Keep out hands, animals, dust, and to keep your animals from jumping out. There are many types of lighting, as you find out, and some are more practical in terms of functionality, and others are more meant for looks.
There's many types of lighting options available. The first might be incandescent, the second might be fluorescent, possibly LED, or maybe even metal halide. But what you need to determine are the requirements of your livestock, your purchase cost, your operating costs, as well as your maintenance needs.
It's a good idea to use consider using dimmers and timers to optimize your lighting regimen for your livestock as well. As far as lighting goes, you want to consider both the photo strength, or the intensity of the light, the photo quality, and the duration. The duration is best regulated by the use of dimmers and timing switches. We encourage you to consider using dimmers.
Sound like me now.
It's a good idea to use timers and dimmers on your system as well. Livestock really appreciates regularity.
Controlling water temperature.
So what about heat and heating? Even goldfish systems need a heater, typically set low, just to minimize any temperature swings. There's cheapies, there's expensive versions, there's the version that goes inside the tank, there's the housed version, and there might also be the under the gravel or sub-gravel type heaters.
And what about electricity?
I never did get that other light plugged in, so.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's revolting. About a day. It's a Faraday. Say what? No more sodas for me. Hey, isn't this your turn to do one of these?
No, I did the heater and the thing.
What about electricity? Electricity and water do not mix. To avoid electrocution of both yourself and your livestock, you want to utilize a ground fault circuit interrupter in all electrical items that are plugged into your aquarium. In addition to this, it's a good idea to loop all electrical cords such that they're lower than the outlets they're plugged into. That way, if water gets on the lines themselves, it drips onto the floor, not into the outlet.
What about covering the bottom of the tank?
So what about substrate? It serves many purposes. So what about substrate? The gravel or the So what about substrate? It serves many purposes. It looks good. So what about substrate? It does serve many purposes. It's first of all an aesthetic benefit inside the tank. It also works out well for the environment of the fish. It helps buffer the pH of the water, and at the same time, it looks good.
I count these off on your fingers. It's good for anchoring.
Anchoring that.
It starts with the A.
Okay.
It supports biological filtration. That's the B, biological filtration. Another B is buffering. And fourth is it improves the habitat for the livestock. You can say something about the reflection of light if you want. And the last item is it looks good.
So what about substrate? It does have many purposes. First of all, it serves as a way of anchoring down the plants or the decorations. Secondly, it provides a buffering for the pH of the water. Thirdly, it provides biological filtration. The fourth would be it's a benefit to the inhabitants of the tank. And fifth, it looks good.
And what should your aquarium look like inside?
And what would an aquarium be without decoration? Backgrounds, rock, driftwood, ornaments from the real to fantastic, plastic and real live plants, both for your enjoyment as well as that of your livestock.
As with any venture, maintenance is part of the process. Routine is best, so create a schedule consisting of daily feedings, checking your livestock, temperature, and equipment. Create a schedule for yourself consisting of cleaning algae, filter system needs, and regular partial water changes.
And most important, take your time. Read the instructions. Set the tank up without livestock and allow it to run for a few days to a week before introducing the livestock. And when you do add livestock, just add a few animals at first. The tank still has to go through its initial cycle. And most important, have fun.
Yeah!